Okay, time now is 11:40 a.m. on November 18th. Um, yeah, I slept from 5 a.m. to maybe around 11:20, and then I went back to sleep 11:25, and then I went back to sleep for 10 more minutes. Yeah, last night again, time flies. I didn't do much. Um, I just cannot, for the life of me, go to bed early. I just cannot. But hopefully tonight, 4 a.m. or earlier. That's the goal. Um, but yeah, I my sore throat is even worse now, so that's great. And yeah. Oh fuck. Now is not the time to be sick, man. Um, but yeah, and today I need to go to Ralph's because I am out of toilet paper. I've been running out since yesterday, and I've been very cautious of how much toilet paper I use. But yeah, I have so little toilet paper now, I have to go to Ralph today to buy toilet paper and more food as well. And Audrey's coming to visit me today, which is fucking crazy. And the good thing is, I don't have any time constraints, you know? Of course, I need to go to Ralph's, but that's not a humongous rush. But the reason why I'm waking up so early is because at 1 p.m. I need to go to Zoom for a therapy session. So, I'm gonna do that. And, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it. Um, yeah. Oh my god. So last night I turned on the heater before I went to bed. I took a shower, I was in my pajamas, and I still went upstairs to turn on the heater because it was so fucking cold. So I turned the heater to 71 degrees, which I thought was fine, normal, and it was insanely hot uh, at 7 a.m., so literally 2 hours after I fell asleep. Or after I went to bed. 2 hours. It was so hot, I woke up. And I went upstairs and switched off the heater, but even so, it was still very hot. Yeah. And I had a huge dream. So much so that I thought I've been sleeping for like 8 hours, even though I just slept for 2 hours. But then I kind of already forgot what happened in the dream. But it was a huge dream. It involves me traveling to some other faraway places and, meeting weird people. Um, yeah. Tired. Yeah, tired and having sore throat. Yeah. Oh my god. What? First time trying. It's been 2 years since I tried this. Okay, shit, I just realized I still have clothes left, not dried yet. But time now is 3:19 a.m., it's late as fuck. My can video editing is frozen, so might as well film this. Not much happened today. I woke up feeling very tired, and then, went to, therapy over Zoom from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., and this is out of all the times I had therapy sessions, this is the time where I had least to say. I don't know why, but the last 7 days, the last week, nothing happened. I feel okay, nothing happened, and yeah, oh, there we go. I feel okay, nothing happened, and I'm fine, and in fact, I feel good. I felt better than last week. I felt better than last week, the week I lost my wallet. Like with me going onto Eris Baker's set, and also just talking more to Audrey and all that stuff. I feel fine. So yeah, therapy session's over. We talked about combating my terrible god awful sleep schedule. Um, because I go to bed super late, and my therapist was like, try to do it in 30-minute increments. So if you go to bed at 4, try 3:30 tonight. Which is impossible because right now it's 3:20 already, and I still haven't washed my shower towel, and I just finished dinner. Um, but yeah, I after a therapy session, I started doing cleanup to my apartment because Audrey's coming, and holy ball sacks, I went downstairs and I started cleaning up. I started throwing out the trash, tidying things up. I put some stuff in the laundry. I cleared out so much of this. This used to be an unruly food mess. I mean, it's still kind of a mess, but still. And then my bathroom, I wiped down some dusty bits, and it's gross. And then I vacuum cleaned my floor a little bit. Way cleaner now. Feels good. Um, but then yeah, Audrey came over at 4:40-ish p.m., which is a little late, or 3:40, I think. Uh, yeah, it's a little late. But yeah, she's here. It's so fucking crazy to me. I just want to talk a little bit about like Audrey for a moment here. It's so crazy to me that she just agrees to come to my place. I think people like Jayun, like I tell Jayun, oh, I have like 5 roommates, and it's like kind of far. She's like, nah, I'm not gonna come. You come to my place, and that never fucking happened. Audrey literally did not even need to persuade her. Did not even need to say, ooh, I have, Blu-rays. I'm just like, do you want to come over? She's like, sure. And then she's like, my ETA is 20 minutes. 20 minutes later, I go out, and she's just standing outside the door. There she is. And it's like, what? Okay. Does she just trust me that much? Like, I have no idea what's going on. But she just shows up. It's the first, no, it's like the 19th time I've invited a girl into my place. But, it's the first time where it's someone that I feel like I'm not that close with. Because usually people who go to my place are people that I know a lot already. Aside from Toll, don't know what he's doing here. Yeah, Michelle has been to my place, and Tova has been to my place. Um, yeah. Who else has been to my place? That's a good question. In USC, I actually don't think anyone in USC has been to my place other than Toll and Audrey. Interestingly enough. Huh. I swear there's more. Jonathan's been to my place, but, Huh, that's really interesting. Okay. Um, but yeah. So, Audrey's just here, and then we sat down. And again, it's like, I wish I like her more, because this would have been, if this is Jayun, my heart would just beat out of my chest. But of course, I'm moving on from Jayun now. But imagine if this is Jayun, like, and this is not November, but it's September. Then, before I found out about Colin Nelson, that would be beautiful. That would be perfect. I would be so just like dreamy with it. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Um. So yeah, I don't know, but it's still really nice to have Audrey over. We talked a little bit, And that's the thing, is like, if this is Jiren, I and her would have very interesting banter. There's a lot of like, teasing back and forth, but I don't really feel that tension with Audrey at all. Um, and for now, we're just good friends, which is great. I love having friends. Um, but yeah, we just sat down and I showed her my Blu-rays. She came to my room for a little bit right here. I told her to take off her shoes, and then I just showed her my Blu-ray closet, and she took a photo of it. And then we went downstairs, and then I just played a bunch of Blu-rays. And then she's like, "Oh, actually, can we watch one of these three movies: Tangerine, Grave of the Fireflies, and Rocky Horror Picture Show?" And I'm like, "I don't own any of these films on Blu-ray. I've seen the last two films." And then we decided to just go to the main TV, log into Disney Plus, because she has a Disney Plus account. I don't like streaming services. And then just find Left-Handed Girl, not Left-Handed Girl, Tangerine. So we watched Tangerine, which is great. It's just a very short movie, and we just sat down, we watched it, and we talked over it. And before we watched it, a random dude suddenly came into the apartment. Some random guy. I don't know who he is, and apparently he's one of the property managers or like staff of Tripling, and he's here to bring in some gifts from Thanksgiving. Usually they bring snacks. This year they just bring pens, which is so disappointing. They're really under budget. And then that dude came back again with a Chinese woman who's probably his boss, and the Chinese woman's just asking me a bunch of questions like, how satisfied are you living here? Like, how's the cleanliness going? And it's so ironic because me and Mary was here too. We're just cleaning the whole place, and so the kitchen countertop was squeaky clean earlier today, which is crazy. It was so messy, and the floor has like garlic skin and weird trash and dripping sauce and like some dried pasta and a fucking straw. And also, the dishwasher smells like vomit. Turns out there is a 7-day-old glass of milk inside the fucking dishwasher. And it's Mary's, because she just did not realize that apparently that's not a good idea. Like, she just forgot. She forgot. Which is absolutely insane. It smells terrible. So that's what rotten milk smells like. But yeah. Yeah, everything's clean. And then at around 7, Audrey's like, "Okay, gotta take a lift away." And I'm like, "Sure." And then she left, and then went to Ralph's, came back home, and yeah, did not go to gym. This is the first Tuesday in in the semester where I did not go to the gym. Uh, yeah, so gotta hop back on next Tuesday. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. Don't really know what else to say. I'm like, again, a bit worried about internships, a bit worried about my septum film, which is the film I'm making for Click to View, and I made this giant group chat a few days ago, and I've never made a group chat on texting app, but I did it at once so that it wouldn't freak out. Like, I did not add any new members after I added everyone in the group chat. So everyone like Colin and Anya and Rachel and the other Rachel and like Leandra and Riley, the freshman, they're all in it. And I'm just asking everyone like, "When are you free?" And it's so funny, and I feel like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And again, it's director's anxiety, but I truly do not know what the fuck I'm doing. I haven't even written the script. But yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. There's that. And then, not much else, I guess. Not much else to be said. Still kind of sore throat, still stuffy nose, and hopefully go to bed at 4:15. Okay, time now is 9 a.m. sharp. Um, Sore throat. Yeah, I slept from 5 a.m. to 8:45, I think. And yeah, less than 4 hours. Fuck me. I am I I really did mess up. I wanted to go to bed at 3:30, and of course that doesn't happen. Um, I was really sucked in my editing, my can video. Mary, my roommate, and her friend was here until like 4 a.m., maybe 5 a.m., and I was still doing the laundry at that point. But yeah. So I'm so sleepy right now. Yeah, hopefully I go to bed tonight at 4 or earlier. Because I can't continue with this. Yeah. My shower towel is still wet. It didn't even dry completely, and I took it out of the dryer. Yeah, my sore throat's getting worse too. Yeah. Okay, it's 3:24 a.m. in the morning. It's late. Today is another normal day. It's actually kind of crazy how beyond the first 2 weeks of this semester, the rest of my days were actually pretty normal, pretty flat, which is good. I don't want another big tragedy. But a bunch of small things happened today that I would like to note. First of all, a couple days ago, I emailed the manager of Norris Theater and the theaters in general of USC and about a job opening again. And yesterday, I got back an email asking me, telling me that they don't have job openings now, but if I want, he could talk to me. And then he decided that either Friday 11 a.m. or 12 a.m. or 12 at noon. So I was like, Friday 11 a.m. And he's like, great, call me at this phone number. So great, I'm gonna make a phone call to the Norris Theater manager on Friday 11 a.m. Because why not? It feels really impulsive. It feels like I'm begging for a job. But yeah, I guess might as well. Why the fuck not? I will bite teeth and nail to earn money. Okay, I will do anything. I will kill to make money. That's what I would do. I will commit homicide. So there is that. Take that as you will, sarcastic or not. But anyways, today I woke up and I felt absolutely terrible. I was on 3 hours and 45 minutes of sleep, and I went back to bed for 10 more minutes. And then I went back to bed for 15 more minutes, so I missed the early bus. And even though I still had to run to the late bus, and then I arrived at did I run? I forgot. I arrived at the Norse Theater. Was 3-4 minutes late. It's okay. Sat next to Audrey. Again, like I hate saying this, but if I liked her, this would be ecstatic. I saw her yesterday, now I'm seeing her today. She just keeps showing up every week. If this is Jiren, it would, I think a while ago, I think last semester, I had this idea that if I and Jiren take MPSA together, we could sit together every week and I'll see her every week and it's gonna be so insane. Yeah, okay. Anyways, sat next to her, it was nice, it was whatever, and then Yeah, talked to her a little bit during break. It wasn't much. We watched this movie, this new Vietnamese movie called Detective Ken, and I think I fell asleep 5 times, and it was a good nap. And then I woke up, I left. And Andrew Wu approached me after class, and we talked for a little bit. We talked about that film, we talked about Left-Handed Girl, I talked about No Other Choice, and he went to Trader Joe's and I followed him for a little bit, and that was when I brought up the YouTube channel. I was like, so you got the screenshot? And he's like, oh, your YouTube? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, just don't tell anyone, okay? And he's like, yeah, I won't. And I'm like, I trust you. I think it's a bit of a sensitive topic because Daniel Pan suddenly sent the screenshot and then Daniel Pan told everyone to not tell anyone. So I think everyone got this idea that I'm really mad about this. And yeah, it's not cool, especially the fact that Daniel Pan didn't ask me first, which I would say no, by the way. But um it's not the end of the world, you know? It's just don't tell anyone. You know, just don't. Uh but yeah, and then I took a bus home, and then I had a stomach ache. So that's that. And then I had lunch, and then I uh, went to my David Lynch class. And I went there half an hour early. I took the early bus, so I got coffee. I don't know why. I guess maybe it's I'm sleepy. I also want to drink something, so I got a nice hot mocha. And I went to SCA third floor, and I ran into Ife, and I talked with them for quite a bit. Talked about 310, talked about the PD class. I'm a little worried about tomorrow's PD class because I didn't show up last Thursday, and I hope it's like I hope the professor doesn't get mad or anything, you know. But yeah, R.I.P. Rip, rip, rip. Um, but yeah, definitely yeah. And then I spend maybe 5 minutes sketching because I have this art class assignment and it's really bugging me. As much as I want to learn how to draw and want to learn art, this art class is really putting a lot of pressure on us because it's basically an assignment every single week. And at this point, I have too much on my plate. Too much shit is going on in my life. Multiple short films, multiple scripts, internships, looking for jobs, and then you have these papers and, you know, etc. It's just too much. I forgot to mention that during the Asian horror class this morning, the professor played my video essay, and at first I'm like, oh, this is embarrassing. And then she played it, and it looked fine, and people were laughing at it. There's a good sense of humor. It's snappy, and then yeah, it's embarrassing for me, but I was just like letting it go. And I realized that when I film video essays or when I record myself in my YouTube videos, I actually like detach myself. Like I don't sound like myself. And that's so impressive. But yeah, I'm like the cams person now. Kate Xiao said that I'm the most cams person she's ever met. And another guy, who was it? Oh, Zizhu, the girl I met on set, also said I'm like the most cams person ever, and I should take it as a compliment. You know, I think it's good that I'm like excelling at this major. You know, I'm doing so fucking good at this major. But yeah, there's that. Okay, anyways, back to Lynch class. We watched Twin Peaks: Fire Walk with Me parts 1 and 8. No one showed up. Like 20 people showed up, maybe even less. But I did see Emma and Arjun, and I sat next to Garrett, Anya, and Rachel, and Riley was there for a bit, and it was great show. And then we left together. Originally, I was gonna give Justin T my lav mic, and then I realized, oh yeah, if I want to film my click to view film on Friday, I need to use a lav mic, so I can't give it to Justin T now. So it's also fucking convoluted. So I have to think about my click to view film, the production of that film, and I also have to think about internships, jobs, blah 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 blah. So we left, and Garrett and Anya and Rachel, we were all talking about grades. Turns out they announced the grades. The David Lynch class, they announced the grades for our first essay. And everyone got a B plus. Rachel got a B, and then Riley got an A minus. And Riley was like, "Oh, mine was like meh." But turns out everyone got a B or B plus. And they're just talking shit about the Lynch TAs, like what the hell? They didn't give us no guidelines. It's supposed to be chill, and somehow it's still a B plus. I'm honestly not that mad because I feel like my essay was kind of rushed, so B plus is kind of deserved. But I expected this shit to be easy, you know. But now I'm gonna try harder. I've been in worse positions. I mean, my first RIT 340 paper is a C plus. I mean, Jesus. But yeah, there's that. And then Garrett walked away, and then me and Anya and Rachel, we talked a little bit about my plans to film their scene for my click to view film. And I think this is one of the rare moments where Rachel and Anya stand side by side. And even though they're very similar twins, they have the same voice, same height, their faces are actually different. And I was like a little surprised that they actually look really different. Like, well, at least more different than I thought they would look when they stand side by side. Rachel looks more like condensed, and Anya has bigger eyes, and her face is also a little bigger. But it was such a minute difference. It's so interesting. But yeah, anyways, there's that. Came back home, had dinner, and I spent a whole hour working on my art assignment. This is the last art class assignment until our group project, by the way. So I kind of want to go hard on this, but then again, I have like 10 million other things to worry about. So I don't know, but it's like 50% done. I'm trying to keep my painting simple. It's easier for other people because the other classmates who have like digital drawing can draw digitally on an iPad. It's easier for them. I have to do this shit with acrylic paint, for fuck's sakes. But yeah, trying to keep it simple. This is 50% done. Tomorrow I want the second painting to be 50% done, so the last 50% could be done on Friday. Also Friday afternoon, I have the Click to View film. Also Friday after the Click to View meeting, I'm going to Kate Xiao's place for the Friendsgiving. I just ordered food on Wii. I'm receiving it tomorrow, and if I'm free tomorrow to make the braised pork belly, I will. So yeah, bruh. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. And then the internship. The first internship deadline is literally tomorrow, aka today, because it's November 20th already. So I need to do something about that. I can't find big internships. Either they're all closed, or I just don't know the right way to find them. But like NBC should still be open. Like I don't know. Like Disney Plus is open. Like I don't know. Maybe I should ask Thomas. Maybe Thomas would know. But New York and LA are different, so maybe Thomas wouldn't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to be productive. I finished editing my college update video, and oh god, I don't have time at all, and I want to sleep early, so bruh. Oh, one more thing. So as of now, I have lived 507 days in this apartment, including holidays, even though I'm not here physically, but it still counts because I'm still paying the rent. 507. That is the longest time. Last week, I've lived here for 500 days. The longest I've lived in a place is my apartment at Santa Monica. I lived there for 478 days. And on October 21st last month, I have reached that limit. So a month ago, I have already surpassed the number of days the most days I've lived. So this is the longest place I've stayed at right now, which is absolutely crazy how much time flies once I settle in and, it's just this is my room now. This is more of my room than it ever is and can be, aside from my room in Hong Kong, of course. But yeah, 1 year and 5 months now? No, 1 year and 7 months, actually. Uh, yeah. No. No, 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 no. 1 year and nearly 4 months, right. Um, magnificent. Magnificent. Alright, and I'm sick as fuck. Runny nose, sore throat. Sore throat getting better, I think? Nah, still there. But runny nose, very much so. There's that. Okay, time now is 11:14 a.m. on November 20th. Yeah. I slept from 4:45, well, actually more like 4:50 to 11 a.m. and then went back to bed for 10 more minutes. Yeah. Going to bed at 4 did not succeed. But I did go to bed earlier than 5, so at least there's that. I'm so fucking tired. It's 6 hours, which is supposedly not bad, but Jesus Christ, I'm dead. Like, I cannot. I cannot. I can't wait for Thanksgiving break. I just want to sleep all day, every day. This is fucking terrible. Oh my god. Yeah, I feel so cold and I'm so tired. Uh, Last night I had like no motivation to paint, to do my art class assignment, and I really just want to go upstairs and then just look at my laptop or look at my phone. But I really push myself to draw. And now same, I just want to sleep. I don't want to go to class. I don't want to work on anything. I'm so goddamn exhausted. Um yeah. I don't know. Today it's MPSA class and then the PD class. But I think for the PD class I don't have to arrive early to class, so maybe I can go home and make myself food first, which is ideal. Um, yeah, so I might do that actually. But yeah, there's so much to handle. The click to view film, the internship application, the job stuff, assignments, Friendsgiving tomorrow, which is exciting. I've never done that actually. So many things I have never done. Putting on makeup for Halloween, celebrating Thanksgiving like this. You know. Still thinking about whether I should go to Arizona or not for Thanksgiving. I called my mom. Well, my mom wanted to call yesterday, but I just like it. It depends on if I don't go to Phoenix, Arizona, next week because Retablo wants me to go. But if I don't go, will I be bored? And I think that's the biggest factor. Like if I end up feeling really bored at home alone, then that kind of sucks. Um, Second is price, if it's expensive. Third is how tired I am. Right now I'm so tired I kind of don't want to go. But then, yeah, I get it. It's Thanksgiving. I should, do something, go somewhere. I get it. But yeah, I'll decide today. Oh my god. Oh my god, bruh. Okie dokie. It's 12:30 after midnight, and yeah, 12 ball sacks, I guess. 12 fucking ball sacks. So, yeah, so much is happening. I don't even know what to say. It's so crazy that I don't even have a job right now, and I'm already like frothing at the mouth, dying because there's so much going on. But sore throat still here. It's interesting because 4 days ago my sore throat was more of a dry thing, and it was on top of my throat, so it's like larynx. But now the pain is like moving downwards, and then concentrating on my right side. Now it's more pharynx than larynx. I don't even know how does that work, but even the back of my tongue is hurting a little bit. But yeah, this morning, even though I slept for, that's my hair. I slept for 6 hours, but I still felt terrible. I think maybe it's because I'm kind of sick, so I just automatically didn't really have the motivation to do anything. And, like, kind of sick. And right off the bat in the morning, I decided to. I took the early bus, so I did not arrive late to MPSA. But I decided to not have lunch. I just ate some cookies, gingerbread cookies, and drank some milk, which is pretty interesting for breakfast. And then I left off. Yeah, and then I arrived on campus, and I was gonna go upstairs. I was gonna go to SCA third floor, sit down, chill, write an email, whatever, write some script. But as I was entering SCA lobby, I saw Anya, Colin, and Riley the freshman just standing there. And Anya was like, Enoch, and I'm like, oh. So I just stood there, and then we just talked. And then for about 20 minutes. And then we sat next to the fountain. But, yeah. Yeah, yeah, we just talked, and at first I was just not social at all. They're talking about American Horror Story, and they're making jokes. Colin is making jokes about, like, Ted Bundy and, what was the other serial killer? Jeffrey Dahmer, and how Jeffrey Dahmer is, like, not attracted to him, but he slept with Ted Bundy and all that, and I just don't know how to respond to that. But yeah, and me and Riley talked a little more, and then we sat by the fountain, and then I ran into Anna, Iwasawa, and Camden. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's that. Not much else. Um, and then, and then, yeah. And then I went to MPSA class. I sat alone. But, Micaiah, if you remember her, the black girl who's the first AD for, Starman, she was like, Enoch. And I turned around and I chatted with her. And for some reason, I was much better socializing at that moment. So I was like, hey, how have you been? And people are asking me about Thanksgiving, like, plans. And, Camden asked me, what am I going to do? And I'm like, I'm still figuring it out. And he's like, that's going to happen in a few days. So. And then, yeah, Makaya's like, are you going home? So, like, she assumes I'm from, like, Minnesota or something. I'm like, no, I'm not. I can't. And then she asked me where I'm from, and she asked me my major, finally, after all these days of working with me. But yeah, to be fair, I realized that I actually haven't really spoken to her outside of Starman. So yeah, that was interesting. And then, yeah, I we watched Paper Moon. It's really good. It's really freaking good. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, the professor's saying all these things like screenwriting is an art. Art comes later. The first thing is the work, which I kind of agree, but also not agree. I think screenwriting is an art. Storytelling is an art. Maybe not screenwriting, but the way he talks about how even on bad days you have to write because it's your job. It's not you can't choose to not write something. If you are a screenwriter, it's your job to write. If you have writer's block, keep writing. Even if it's shit, keep writing. If it's shit, then rewrite. And then I also lent Micaiah a pen, but that's pretty much it. Surprisingly empty class today. Again, I feel like a lot of production students, like a lot of 310ers, are just not here because of 310. So there's that. But yeah, we sort of I left, and then I saw Alex Lee and Reese on a bike, and Alex is walking, and I just said hi to them both, and they're like, hey, and then I kind of followed them, and then they're not talking to me, so it was kind of awkward, and I just left. But it's like, who cares? I'm tired. It's raining. So yeah, it was raining, and it was raining slightly, and then it got worse and worse, and then I got onto the bus, and I put on my hoodie for my jacket, and it's just like kind of wet. And then I walked back after the bus, and I got back home, and so the fun thing is usually on Thursdays I eat dinner outside, or lunch in this case, because I've only had breakfast. But I did not, because today for PD class, the class is separated into two sections, and I am the later section. I'm at 8:30 p.m. to 9:50 at Soundstage 4. So this means I have 3.5 hours. So I went back home, I cooked myself steak and potatoes and had green beans. It's a big meal. It's a big ass meal. Very nice. And then I looked at some internships. I cleaned up and I looked at some internships. I wanted to there and then apply to one internship, apply to my first internship application. But I just ran out of time, and I was just so fucking overwhelmed. I looked at LinkedIn, and I found Giant's LinkedIn, I found Maisie's LinkedIn, and all that fancy shit that Giant has worked at this place, that place, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, and, I don't really know. Yeah, so, PD class, so Christian isn't there, Sydney isn't there, but I saw Ife, I saw Evan, I saw Minna, and it's really cool that, also it's not stage 4, it's stage 3, which I actually have never been in. I've been to stages 1, 2, and 4, but never 3. Finally, I'm at stage 3, and it's a lot of PD stuff is in there. But yeah, we were just learning how to paint the whole day. It's just like learning how to paint different types of brushes, different types of paints, and different tools, and then we got to play with it ourselves, and then talk about the final exam and final project, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, very interactive, and I like how tight our group has become, like our class, like we just know each other and we talk to each other, and it's kind of fun, and very chill, and it's like freaking storming, raining dog shit outside. And so me and Ife, we like left together, and it was raining so bad. And surprisingly, my new shoes that I bought in Japan, it's way more rain resistant than my previous shoes, mainly because of the thick layer of brown soles underneath the shoes. That's really doing the work. But yeah, yeah. So genuinely cool, cool beans. Yeah. Um, yeah, and not much else. Took a lift back home, and then just now I spent a lot of time looking at Instagram because I'm just like stalling time, and then for the last maybe, oh well, from 11:30 to midnight, I worked on one internship application, just the one, and that is to a company called Samuel Goldwyn. And I did a little research, and apparently I just emailed them, and I sent over my resume and a script coverage. I don't know what the fuck is a script coverage. I immediately went to Google and searched what it is. Apparently it's like a review, which is cool. I do reviews, and also my resume, which fucking sucks. I don't know, it just doesn't seem like a very good resume, so I'm gonna have to have it checked by Thomas or whatever. But this is a good first attempt. I'm probably not gonna get this internship, and that's fine because I'm supposed this Samuel Goldwyn internship, it's unpaid, and you have to work 2 or 3 days per week to do it, which is fucking insane. So yeah, if I get it, it's cool, worth a try, worth an attempt. But at least I applied for one internship. I emailed them at 11:59 p.m., which is not a good look, but I did apply. I did try. An attempt has been made. And then yeah, beyond that, not much else. Giant like my Instagram story. Audrey the Asian girl. I'm like, I know she's really busy, but sometimes I send her things and I'm not really getting anything back. And then I send her. So I found out yesterday that No Other Choice is coming to SCA in mid-December without Paktono Q&A, but still cool that it's playing here for free. So I told Audrey that, and I wanted her to register because I want to watch it with her, and I don't care if it's a rewatch. And then so I realized I wanted to ask her that, but then I realized I don't want to keep pushing on that. So instead, today I asked her, "What are your Thanksgiving plans?" And then she said Coachella, and I'm like, "Oh, isn't that expensive? Like, what artists are you seeing?" And then she's like, "No, not the music festival. The music festival is in May. This is like with just like my family at Coachella, California." And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's embarrassing." And then she registered for No Other Choice so we can watch it together. And yeah, and what else? Yeah, I just asked her about internships, and apparently there's this mega Google Doc about film internships, which I've never fucking seen before. She's like, "Oh, I assume you've seen this, but I'll send this to you anyways." And I'm like, "I've never fucking seen this." And then at the end, Audrey says, "Gio, or add oil," which is, again, scary. I don't want girls texting me in Chinese anymore, okay? Enough is enough. But yeah, I'm happy that I finally made an application. Did an application for an internship. Wrote a quick email. Within two minutes, I wrote this email. Crazy typing speed. But yeah, now it's like nearly 1 a.m. and I need to cook for tomorrow's Thanksgiving potluck, finish the fucking art assignment, and prepare for the septum shoot tomorrow. So much is happening. Holy ball sacks. I barely have time to do anything. And I still need to have dinner, which is going to be simple because my dinner is big. Now my dinner can be small. So I'm just going to make myself a small sandwich. Maybe even not. Maybe just like bread and some cream cheese. Probably that, actually. I'll probably just do that. Bread and cream cheese. And, yeah, and then just work on my painting and, yeah, that's it. And then, oh yeah, fuck the potluck. I low-key hope it's postponed, but yeah. Okay, Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving, potluck, making braised pork belly for the third time in my life. There we go. This should be able to feed 15 people, I hope. Okay, it's 9:42 a.m. on November 21st. I slept from 5:10 a.m. to about 9 a.m. Yeah, I'm so sleepy right now. Yeah, last night, last night was productive, but in terms of the things I had to do and not in terms of like productive in general. I didn't, I didn't edit anything, I didn't watch anything, but yeah, I really fucking tried last night. I After applying for the internship, I started preparing food for today's Thanksgiving, and then at around 1:30, I was able to make some simple food. And then at the same time, I'm drawing. So yeah, that was tough. Yeah, I'm so sleepy. I think there's a canker sore forming on my lip right here. So, I need to put salt on it to prevent it from going any further. Um, yeah. Mm. Can't wait to sleep tomorrow morning. Yeah, today's the last day before the Thanksgiving break. Also, 11 a.m. I need to call the projectionist or the North Theater manager. 12, I have class, and then after that, I'm gonna go find something to eat, and then I have to shoot my short film, Septum, which I have no energy to shoot right now. Zero. And then, Leandra just texted me saying that she's feeling sick, so we're not gonna film her scenes, like, at all. And, I'm gonna go home, and then I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna go to the Thanksgiving potluck. Yeah, quite a busy day. Still haven't decided whether I want to go to Arizona or not. I just could not. Too much is going on. Yeah. Also, forgot to mention that I didn't fall asleep immediately. I guess I was just stressed out. And also, I had this crazy dream where I guess I and my mom are traveling in this country, and the map of the country looks like Thailand or Luxembourg or something. And I lost my phone somewhere. And then I later found it. Like a year later, I traveled up north. And I thought my phone is already gone. And I was gonna write a note. Just sort of putting up pamphlets to ask people to look for my phone. And then I arrived at that spot, which is a weird, dimly lit, small room. And I saw my phone wedged into a stack of stuff, like paper, but to the side. And with the screen still on. And it says something about divisible by 6. It's like the measurements of my phone. Yeah, really crazy. Bruh, so much.
I'm the fox. Like I am the fox. Like
Bruh, they shrunk. Yeah, no, this is great because I think like.
oh, okay, sure.
Wait, take all the shell on the inside out.
Alright, fuck me. Where do I start? It's 3:40 a.m. I just spent a whole hour just listening to music and looking at YouTube. I'm so fucking tired. You have no idea. Yeah, so today is a torturously long day. I'm insanely tired. And yeah, woke up after about 3 hours and 40 minutes of sleep, and oh my god, I cannot leave the bed. I think I woke up around 9 a.m. and then I went back to bed at 9:10. And then I decided, you know what, fuck it. I don't need that much time to finish the painting assignment. So I gave myself like 20 more minutes to sleep. And then after that, I gave myself 10 more minutes of sleep. So I was, stacking up. But, yeah. Hold on, the heater is quite strong. Yeah, so, at 10:20, I finally woke up. And that was fucking crazy. I finally left the bed. And, at that point, I had about 2 hours before I have to leave. So I basically brushed my teeth, went downstairs, and finished painting. And the good thing is I had all my painting equipment downstairs already because I left them there last night because I don't want to bring them all upstairs and then bring them all back down the next morning. Might as well leave them here. So yeah, I was able, honestly, it was really simple. So after brushing my teeth and everything, it was like 10:40. a.m. And honestly, I only had a little bit left to paint. It wasn't that much, and it took me about 30 minutes. I just pulled out a paper plate, put on some paint, used the paint brushes, boom, boom, bang, bang, boom, and it was quite easily done. But in the middle of finishing the paintings, at 11 a.m., I called Andrew Least, who is the manager of the Norris Theater at USC. And he's just some regular guy, some regular fellow. He's like, "Hey, this is Andrew Least. How may I help you?" And I was like, "Oh, my name is Enoch, and I was the one who emailed you about like possible job openings." And he's like, "Oh, that's great. So I'm just gonna ask some questions, and feel free to answer them. And I just want to get a better idea of you." So I didn't know that this is a fucking job interview, basically. So I had a phone call job interview. And all at the same time on my phone, on my transit app, I had opened the transit app to see when do I have to leave. Also, I was wrong. When I left the bed at 10:20, I didn't have 2 hours left. I have 1 hour left. Because class starts at noon. So that's fucking crazy. But yeah, so literally, I did the job interview over the phone, and he asked me basic questions like, "Do you have experience with Windows?" And I'm like, "Windows is all I use." And then he's like, "Okay, well, do you have experience with playing movies like a Blu-ray player?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do collect Blu-rays." And I didn't say that. I should have said that, but I said I have a Blu-ray player at home. And then yada yada. And I just gave honest answers. I think I was a little sleepy, so I wasn't as energetic as I would have loved to be, but I think I did a pretty good job. I think I'm pretty fucking qualified to be a projectionist, because all I'm doing is pressing play on the fucking computer. But while doing the job interview, I'm literally painting, which is fucking crazy. Eventually, I finished the paintings, and again, it was like a super last minute thing. I had to leave like immediately. I had to leave the apartment like immediately, and I stormed out. I finished a breakfast, which is like a mochi donut from Wee, and then I just ran to the bus, and then I last minute got onto the bus. And it's great because it's an early bus, which means that when I arrive at campus, I can chill a little bit at SCA third floor for the time being, and then sort of go to art class without being scared of being late. So that's what I did, and it was nice. And I went to art class, put my backpack down, and that's when I realized I forgot to bring my laptop. But that's okay. It wasn't really a huge deal. It was it wasn't really exactly a huge deal. It was, I only needed a laptop for the art class. And I don't really, it's not like super duper necessary, So yeah, throughout the art class, we presented our paintings, and honestly, mine wasn't too bad. Obviously, I wish more effort is put into the paintings, but I was able to give a compelling story behind my paintings. But I was so sleepy. There are moments where I'm on the verge of dozing off. Not yet, but on the verge. And then I look at Brian, who is this neurodivergent guy, and he said out loud, he's like, "I just pulled an all-nighter," and then he starts falling asleep. And then this other guy, he starts falling asleep. This other South Asian guy, he starts falling asleep. And some other people, like, you can literally rank everyone in the room from most sleepy to least sleepy. Because every single person in that room was, to some degree, very tired. And some of us are, like, straight up sleeping. Some of us are, like, just zoning out. And then there's, like, a couple of people who are, like, more energetic, which is, like, surprising. But I was, like, more on the sleepier side, but not the sleepiest. It was so crazy. And even the professor, like, notices that multiple people are fucking sleeping, And she's like, yeah, I get it, we're all busy, this is like a tough time of the year. And then in the second half of the class, we kind of have to form groups because the last assignment is a group project and we have to form groups of 3 or 4. And I have no idea who to be with. I don't really have a preference, but I kind of want to be with the talented people. And lo and behold, all the talented people are grouped together. And then the most OP student, the Taiwanese girl, she went with another group, which are also kind of talented. And then so I'm left with the Asian girl who's sitting 2 seats next to me, and then a whole bunch of people who are just absent today. And so group us all together, it's 5 people, and the professor later is like, okay, how about like we split you into 3, and the other group 3, and then 4. So at the end, I ended up with Cassie and another Asian girl, Maylin, and that's the group. And we're not that talented. Like, they're like they're themed entertainment majors, but they're better drawers than me. But you know, she approached me first. She's like, so you want to be in our group? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So that's that. And then after all that is figured out, class is over. Finally, I'm done with all the classes, and now I have Thanksgiving. And yeah, truth be told, I was so tired, I really didn't want to shoot a film. I walked to the new Annenberg building, which is really nice and fancy, and okay, the heater's still going. I'm actually sweating. Yeah, I don't know. Where was I? I'm sorry. I'm so sleepy right now and just tired and mentally exhausted that can't really talk and think completely clearly. So obviously it's a bit of a trouble. But anyways, right. I was at New Annenberg and I went to the Illy Cafe and I ordered a macchiato and a single shot macchiato and a caprese sandwich. I wanted the frittata sandwich, but they ran out. So it's really interesting because I thought it's like caramel macchiato, like a full cup of coffee and kind of sweet. Turns out I know nothing about coffee because macchiato is just a tiny drip, like 5 sips, basically, or more like 10 sips, but it's like really tiny bit of coffee, and it's like strong and bitter. And then the sandwich is just a giant, like very hot panini bread, a lot of bread, and just a little bit of cheese and tomatoes and basil. And I'm honestly impressed at how accurately European this is, because this is the exact type of stuff I get at the panini stand in Cannes. Just small shot of coffee, very strong, and actual cheap panini bread. Except of course in Cannes it's like €5 and here is like $15. But yeah, you know, fuck it, it's food, so I ate it up. And yeah, and then after a while, Alex shows up, Alex Grushka, and then Riley, the freshman, shows up, and then Sunny, the alt Asian girl, shows up, and this is it. We're making a film now. So yeah, at that point, was I nervous? Not really. I just know that whatever I'm getting today is not going to be that good. So yeah, I told them to come by at 3:30 p.m., but we finally grouped together at around 3:40 p.m. because Sunny came a little late. And yeah, let's talk about the filming today. It went from about 3:40 to 5:10. 1.5 hours, and honestly, that's a little time. That's only a little bit of time. And the bad thing is I didn't even have a shot list. I improvised everything. And I feel like improvising when filmmaking can be done very well. You know, Love and Death is mostly improvised, or like a good chunk of it is improvised. good chunk of World Is Not Enough is improvised, but I think when I improvise in those environments, it's mainly because I've scouted those locations and I know exactly the tone I'm going for, and I know the actors well. And here, it's none of that. I do have a tone, but I have a very thin idea of a tone. And that is, oh, it's like ominous, but, it's just an idea. And, the actors, that's probably the worst part of it, is that neither Alex Grushka or Sunny can act. Neither of them can act. And my appraisal of them are terribly wrong. Because Alex, he's just very skinny, he looks very awkward, but he's just like, the whole time he's just like, this is stupid. Like, he never outright says it, but when he started talking to me and asked me to explain the script, he's like, so this girl is a fox, and he wants her to spit on him, and I know he's thinking that I'm stupid. He knows that, I know that he thinks that this is silly. But I stood my ground, and it's not the first time an actor or someone in the crew has thought this of me. I'm used to this. When I stood my ground, I was confident with it, and I'm like, let's just roll with it. And Sunny came, and Sunny likes the script, but Sunny cannot act. I've only known her for maybe a few weeks. I've always thought that she has a very dark side because she has tattoos and crazy makeup, and she listens to very harsh music and talks about dead bodies and blood and disgusting shit all the time. But turns out she isn't, or at least she couldn't really tap into that today. So the whole time today, it feels like she's just doing a parody, or it feels like she's just not taking any of this seriously, no matter how hard she tries. Riley is someone who is able to do it, who is able to understand what I'm going for, but he isn't fully aware of what I'm doing either. We didn't have a prior meeting about what we're doing. So that was already a recipe for kind of a disaster. I don't have a shot list, so whatever shots I improvise with are very basic shots of mediums and close-ups. And this time around I tested the microphone, but it was unimaginative. I first filmed at the staircase at New Annenberg, and it was a cool shot, but again, I feel like it's pretty mid for me. I am able to turn environments into really cool framing and composition, especially in my Hong Kong films, but I think with a camcorder, which has a very difficult focal length, and also the action not being that interesting in the first place, because Alex Grushka is just following Sunny in these long takes. The shot at the end was just meh. And then we went to the admission center because I thought that it would be a quiet spot and it would look nice for the opening bits of this scene. We went there and there's fucking music playing, so Sunny was like, you know what, we can film at the basement. And then I thought, you know what, we could film Alex waking up here and then following Sunny to the basement and then have the conversation at the basement. So we filmed him waking up and we did that 3 takes. And again, Alex just cannot act. He looks at the camera and then he just stops his action before I even yell cut. And I get it, he's philosophy major, but damn. We went to the basement and there's loud rock music playing. It's even worse. And at that point I had this really cool long take idea of them walking past this rock music performance, which you can see through an open door. But again, it's just tonal mismatch because I want this sequence to be kind of jittery and frantic, but this shot is more of ruminating like the Hong Kong Edward Yang shit, except it's not pulling off because there's nothing beautiful or poetic about this. And then we still struggled to find anywhere quiet, so we went to this little vine, grassy walkway outside of the admission center, and it was meh, doesn't look that great. And then that's when we have the dialogue scenes, and goddamn, the acting is terrible. I can't think of any cool blocking, nor can I think of any good ways to direct their performances. He's overdoing. He thinks this is like a full-blown comedy. Like, Alex thinks this is like a full-blown comedy and it's stupid, or at least he overdoes it, because his idea of my film is like, it's like not satire, but like cartoony, because he thinks it's stupid, so he automatically interprets it as cartoony. And then she's just laughing and giggling, and like nothing's working out. So we tried a few takes, and that's when we realized we're running out of time. It was like 4:50, and we want to make it to the meeting, the click to view meeting, which starts at 5. And that's when that's when Riley starts to be like, okay, let's speed up, let's move on. So we went to the cool tunnel place, and we blocked it out, and rehearsed it, and then Riley's just like, I can tell he's like beginning to not enjoy this, and he's like looking at his phone, checking the time, and he's like, yeah, let's do it. And so I'm like trying to speed up. I'm like, okay, let's go, let's film. And we did one take, and it was fucking horrible. Sunny, like, we went completely off the script. Sunny started laughing and saying really dumb things. Earlier, I jokingly said, Alex Grushka is like the machine or something, and I was like just joking. But Sunny took it seriously and started like, oh, so you're a clanker, you're gonna steal my data, and it's like, that's not at all what is going on. Like, that was a joke, don't do that. So we did a second take, and it's like, whatever, cool. And then so the final shot was Sunny spitting onto the camera, except there is cling wrap. That was a very cool shot idea. I did that in Smooth Op, looked great. Here, quite terrible. Sunny, apparently she didn't read the script at all before we met. And she didn't know that she had to spit, even though I did text her about it. I guess she didn't really pick up that she had to spit. And, she was like hesitating, and I'm like, okay, if you don't want to do it, then don't. I can just delete the shot, scrap it, who cares? But she's like, no, I can do it, it's just, And then so she did it, and she immediately released the cling wrap because she's holding onto a corner. She released it, and she started like covering her mouth and like laughing, and I'm like, don't. So we did it again, another take, and then again and again, and it was just not as good. And at the end, I'm just like, okay, that's fine. And then I randomly thought of the way to end off this sequence is her doing rock, paper, scissors, and then Alex is like kind of fainting. And then so I thought of filming that, and Riley just left. I was like, you know what, you can just go. And Riley was like, yeah, I need to head to the meeting now. And then so I'm done. Let's go to the meeting. It's 5:10 or 5:15, and Riley, even on the Discord server, said, oh, Enoch kidnapped me, Alex, and Sunny into acting. And then Riley left, and then me, Alex, and Sunny, we walked, and I took the lav mics back, and then Sunny just snapped it off, and a piece of magnet just fell out. And I thought there was a magnet on the ground. I tried to grab it. Turns out it's hardened chewing gum. The fuck? And then it took me a while to find the magnet, and then I finally put it back into my lav mic box. And then suddenly I couldn't find the magnet again, and then I told them to just go, and then I walked back. Turns out it's clipped between a clip in the lav mic. So yeah, I arrived at the club meeting at 5:20 p.m. I'm 20 minutes late, and we did an editing workshop today where we all had to edit a cool video on CapCut on our laptops. I forgot to bring a laptop, so I just sat beside Shalin, just watched him edit, and I just don't really have much to say. I'm tired. I don't know what the fuck I just did. Probably my worst filmmaking, and I hate that my last filmmaking, like my last directing was Paradise, which is also like super improvised, super like just low grade, low quality filmmaking, just like shitty tripod, barely any sound. And now I feel like it's even more lower quality. It's just like I have nothing now. I have no shot list, no plan, no whatever, no nothing. So yeah, I just turns out I'm not as good as David Lynch. David Lynch was able to pull this off with Inland Empire. I just can't. So yeah, the meeting went on and on and on. It's kind of boring, and it went until like 6:15, and I was supposed to meet Justin T at the village at 6:15 because I need to give him my lav mics because he needs to use it for the APCA shoot tomorrow and the next day. So I walked over to the village and then I saw Justin T. I gave him the mics, taught him how to use it. Pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty quick. Suddenly I'm in teaching mode. He got a grasp of it. I hope he doesn't lose any parts. And then he's like, if I lose it, I'll buy you a new one. I'm like, okay. So yeah. So that's basically it. I walked off. I trust him. If he's careful enough, he will keep all the parts. So at that point, I waited for a bus, went back home, and then I gave myself about half an hour, 20 minutes to just prepare, heat up the pork belly I cooked last night, and then just prepare for Friendsgiving. The APCA Friendsgiving is not really APCA. It's more like just Kate's place, and then like just a soup, just a hullabaloo, just a whirlpool of people. So eventually at 7:30, the Friendsgiving is supposed to start at around 6:30, but everyone's gonna be late. Anyways, I was late for an hour and 10 minutes, and I was still one of the earlier ones to arrive, or like at least somewhat. I arrive and no one's eating yet. But yeah, I had my pork belly. I have my little diagonal bag, and I'm ready to go. Ready, choo choo train. So I arrived there, and Keisha opened the door. Some random woman was like outside, and then Keisha opened up, and then I went in, and it was really nice. It was like I was shocked by how many strangers there are. I thought it's just gonna be like 10 people, and it's like everyone I know, like Keisha, Harley, and Ethan Kwan and like Daniel Pan. I thought it's gonna be chill. Turns out there's like 50 people, and I don't know most of them, or like half of them. They're a bunch of white people that I've never seen before. Yeah, but it was fine. I put down my food. Turns out I'm one of the few people who actually cooked something. And again, I arrived really early. I arrived earlier than the Wu brothers, and And I started eating. Harley wasn't even there. Jacob wasn't even there. But Ethan Kwan and Keisha were there, and also Ted Chow. And automatically, the people who were in that group chat with Daniel Pan, so like Ted Chow and Keisha, they were all like talking about my YouTube. Like Ted Chow was like, "I'm such a big fan of your letterbox," and I'm like playing it off. I'm like, "Ha ha ha." And then yeah, and then yeah, and then we started eating, and it was nice. I ate tons of food, man. I ate so much food, it's crazy. And the woos came, and then we ate, and I had a vodka seltzer, and then I had a shot of tequila, and then I had Coca-Cola and Sprite. At some point I had a little like bubbly red wine near the end, and near the end I had a sip of soju. And I'm still not drunk. But yeah, food sort of rolling in. Daniel Pan comes up, and again I can tell that Daniel Pan is like a little awkward. Like, he doesn't know if I'm mad at him or not. And Harley comes quite late. We were like almost done with the meal. And Jacob came at the very end with cups, which is shameful. But yeah, we all sat down and had a good time. I stood up for most of the meal because I'm just walking around eating. I saw Finn Liu, which is so interesting. I did not expect Finn to show up. I know Finn was going to show up because her name was on the Google spreadsheet, but I was still surprised because I feel like Finn Liu is a little bit separated from this group, but here she is with her half pink hair and sort of this like leopard coat, like leopard skin coat, and talked to her for quite a bit, asked her about her 310, and there's this other girl that I forgot the name of, unfortunately. She's like half Filipina, half Pinay, and she's from my PD class, and I talked to her. There's also this whole 480 thing. Okay, earlier this morning, we got an email saying the 480 finalists are finally chosen. It's 4 scripts, 4 directors, and I don't know any of them aside from John Kim. And, holy shit. And, yeah. And later today, the 546 winners are announced, and one of the directors is Tiger, and I don't know anyone else. So that's pretty cool, but that's pretty fun crazy considering that the 480 people pitched their films last night, and today they have the decision. Like, they're so intense, and apparently they're given until Monday for all 4 of the teams to form their crew. It's so exciting, though. I want to be part of this chaos. But yeah. And Brandon Wu was there, so I talked to him a little bit about like 480 plans, like what now? And Brandon's like, oh, 2 of the teams are trying to nab me as editor, while I may go work for John Kim, but there's another team who I may go work for because it's Daisy No. And then Finn Liu, even though she's in 310, Finn Liu was like, oh, I just got like 3 texts from 3 different people asking me to join their team, you know. It's so intense and exciting and youthful, and Jesus Christ, you know, I'm 23, I'm old, and I'm not experiencing any of this. But it's cool to enjoy vicariously, I guess. But yeah, the conversation continues. I spoke with this half Pinay girl, and she's talking about how she pitched the film last night and didn't get it, but she's not that salty about it. But yeah, I don't even know if I want to do, like, help out with a 480 next semester. I think Starman is just like, you know, I'm just kind of done. I don't really want to do it anymore. Yeah, Jayun posted like for close friends only, but I'm in there for some reason. Like a group chat with John Kim, and Jayun's like, oh my god, and John Kim's like, yo, you're the GOAT, yo, I'm the GOAT, whatever, fuck everything. Like, no, he didn't say that, but it was just like this celebration, like, wow, we are the real filmmakers, like, kind of vibe, and it's just so fucking, like, I just want to point a gun to my head, you know? But, yeah. Anyways, I did bring up to Finn Liu that I want to have her cameo in my film next semester. And she's like, what, acting? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay. Which is so crazy because she would be perfect in my role, even though she's, like, doesn't do acting. She does, like, first ACing. But she's literally a cartoon character in real life. So I really wanted her to cameo in it. And she's like, okay, let me know, text me. Yeah. And, yeah, we just talked and talked a lot about movies, and I realized I kind of ran out of conversation topics. But near the end, when people started leaving, I guess, around, like, 11 p.m., a few people went down there for a smoke of weed. Jacob went down there and smoked weed. Ted Chow started smoking a lot of weed. and K-Shay smoked some, and Harley was like kind of nervous. Harley's like, no, I'm not gonna smoke. And then Harley's like, okay, maybe I'll try. Harley's never smoked weed before. So they gave Harley a very nice, like, expensive blunt, and Harley puffed a few times, and she's like, nervous about it. The Woos, they've never tried weed. I think Brandon Woo tried an edible, and Brandon felt a little high, but they're not interested, which is surprising, not surprising, but, you know. And then they gave me a hit, so I took a hit. And they were like, Keisha was like, oh, so you've had weed before? And I'm like, yes, but again, it's no effect on me. My mind is fortress. And that was like the peak of tonight, I guess. It was just us and the boys outside of the apartment, just like smoking weed and laughing and like talking shit. And everyone's a little drunk and a little high, but I was neither really. And then we went back upstairs and, everyone's cleaning up. Kate Xiao and Ethan Kwan, they're cleaning up. And I'm just chilling, And there was a while where Keisha was just like talking to us extensively about her relationship with John Kim and how they were like on and off, and then they were gonna break up, and then they didn't break up, and then at some point, because Keisha's friends all hate John Kim and John Kim's friends all hate Keisha. But somehow Keisha and John Kim got back together, so they made a promise to secretly date and then pretend to hate each other in public, which is so fucking ridiculous. I wish I could have that luxury. I wish I am loved in a way that I can still love despite our friend groups hating each other. It's like Romeo and Juliet. Like, that's like, I know Keisha's complaining about that, but I would be happy with that shit, because it's so, it's so rare. But anyways, after the weed smoking, Keisha was like, Enoch, so what's your lore? And I guess at that point, maybe it's because I'm tired and my mind wasn't clear. Maybe it's because I was somewhat under the influence. I think it's also because this dinner is lacking a little something. It's lacking a very deep personal talk. So I started teasing a little bit. I was like, oh, well, my lore is a bit tragic. I mean, maybe not as tragic as yours, but it's a bit of a tragedy. And then Keisha got really interested. Keisha's like, oh, who is it? What happened? Who is it? And I'm like, oh, well, it's this girl, and, turns out she has a boyfriend the whole time. And Keisha's like, what? Oh, that's so mean. And Keisha started, like, naming names because she's so interested in who I'm talking about. And some other people started, like, joining in. Like, Brandon Wu was, like, making guesses, and at that point I realized I kind of fucked up. I probably shouldn't have said that. But I like teasing people a little bit. It's also the same feeling when I told Benny during Ends and Meets, like, oh, I actually like someone. Or, like, I accidentally told Benny, but I kind of wanted Benny to know. When you're in love with someone, you really wanted someone to know. And I'm actually really impressed that during my entire, like, I think it's probably because it was over the summer, so I didn't really have someone to talk to about this, but when I was really infatuated with Jaehyun, I actually never told a single soul about this. Never told anyone. Today is actually the first time I've told someone about this. Or, like, well, I did tell, Retablo, and I did tell, someone, like Tova or something, or Jonathan, but they're not related to the USC world, so it's like not really a concern. It doesn't really matter. But today's the first time I kind of broke that, and I kind of told Keisha, but I didn't tell her who she is. So Keisha kept guessing. Wait, is she close with John Kim? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, ooh. And then now Keisha is even more interested, and Keisha's like literally naming names. Is it Cece? Is it Cynthia? Is it Tiffany? Is it like, I don't even know these names? And I'm like, no. And I'm really happy that she's not guessing it. And then he's like, wait, is it a freshman? Wait, is it Jaehyun? And at that point I'm like, no. And then Keisha's like, look me in the eye and tell me, are you a freshman Slayer? Because the brutal truth is, last semester I'm technically junior, but kind of a senior. I'm kind of old. And last semester, John was freshman. So there's this awkward age gap, and you could say, well, I haven't had any romantic or sexual experience, so, and doom love doesn't count. So even though I'm 23, romantically I'm 20, okay? So it's fine. Romantically I'm 20, Giant romantically is 23. So if anything, I should be the victim. And that's bullshit, but, truth be told, there's an age gap, yes, but it doesn't even mean that much, I might as well be 18. I'm not some, going around fucking all women and then trying to trick a young innocent girl, and no. She's going around, and I'm the crybaby. But when Keisha put it this way, I was like, I will not give you any information. And when I said I will not give you any information, Keisha took it as a yes, and then she was like, everyone, Enoch is in love with Jayun. And that was so fucked up. And I was like, no. And I started like blushing. And at that point, it was a fight. And again, I was tired. I was somewhat under the influence, maybe. And at that point, I'm just fighting. It was like a game of lying. I'm just like trying to, because if I was like no and I get embarrassed, then you can tell it's true. If I'm no but I'm confident, then you can tell it's false. So I'm like having a battle inside my head, like a performance battle, like what word should I say to make myself sound confident, and what action should I do? And it was just like I kind of smiled and blushed, but then at the same time I'm like trying to be calm with it. But I was just like, fuck, I should have just said no. I should have lied. I don't know why I didn't lie. When she said, are you a freshman slayer? I should have just lied. I was just like, no, bro, no. So I just tried to make people forget it. So I was like, no. And then like suddenly the group is distracted. So at that point I was like between the pantry or like the kitchen and like the couch, which is the living room. And suddenly they're passing around this bottle of water and they're sniffing it. It's a full bottle of water. Like that. And like there's something weird with it. I thought it's like alcohol. So Keisha sniffed it, Harley sniffed it, Ted Chow sniffed it. And I'm like, I got curious. And I thought, okay, this is great because it's a distraction. Everyone can just forget what just happened. So I was like, oh, can I sniff it? And Ted Chow was like, sure. And I was scared that Ted Chow was going to like do something crazy, like push the bottle against me. But I was so focused on the distraction that I was just like, yeah, I'll just do a quick sniff. I did a quick sniff, and Ted Chow immediately squeezed the bottle, and water splashed all over my face, and onto my shirt, and onto my socks, and all over the floor. And everyone's like a little bit frustrated by it. It's funny, but more frustrated. It's like Ted Chow is clearly high and drunk, and everyone knows Ted Chow is a little, he likes going a little crazy, maybe a little silly sometimes. So me, I'm trying to keep a fucking secret. He is the worst person to speak to with secrets. And he's unstable right now. And he fucking just splattered me with water. And it's embarrassing, but I honestly didn't really care because I'm still thinking about the whole giant thing. And so I went for the paper towels, and then K-Shape brought the paper towels and started wiping up. So I walked all the way back to grab more paper towels to wipe my face and everything. And everyone's just like kind of shocked. And I didn't really care, so I just left. I just sat on the couch, and I just like, I wanted to be sad about it. Like I wanted to just like sit alone, but I don't want to seem sad because then people would think I'm salty about it. And I don't want people to think I'm salty about it. I want people to think that I'm okay with it because I'm calm and I'm experienced, like, mature guy. So I started talking to Daniel Pan. And then that's it. And then I helped clean up some trash, and then everyone seemed to forget what just happened, and then we left. At 1:15-ish, we kind of called our respective lifts, and we all kind of left. And, yeah. And then, yeah. I waited to lift for a long time, came back home, took a shower, and I'm so tired I can't do anything. I was gonna watch a film, I was gonna watch some anime, fuck all that, can't do any of that. It's done. And thus begin my Thanksgiving break. It kind of end off on a sore note, honestly. And I hate that Keisha knows it. Keisha's like a child, and she is, though. She's like a sophomore, so she's 20 or something. Or like 19 maybe. So she's like excited, she's like all like lapped up in drama, she likes gossiping. But I feel like I'm at the age where I don't really like gossiping anymore, and yeah, as much as, Jayun hurt me with what she did, and I'm not really happy with that, but I'm learning to move on. I'm learning to look past it and whatever. And I'm not trying to be bitter with her. Like, I'm not trying to like fight Jayun. Keisha's trying to fight John Kim, But now that Keisha knows it, Keisha's gonna tell everyone because gossiping is exciting. And the thing is, again, like, Keisha isn't someone that I like trust 100%. I don't know her that well at the end of the day. I would trust this with the Wu brothers more. I would trust this with Andrew Wu the most, probably. And maybe Hartley. Because I know them more. No, actually, probably Andrew Wu. But yeah, at the end, Keisha was like, wait, Enoch, tell me. No, actually tell me. And I'm like, no, I will not tell you who it is. And I'm now, at the end of the day, I was trying to salvage it. I was like, yeah, it's not Jayun. But I won't tell you. I will tell you, like, a few months later. And I hate that she was like, everyone, Enoch is in love with Jayun. Enoch is dating Jayun. And again, it's not that serious. Keisha is a nice guy, and John Kim seems chill, I guess, but when Keisha says, oh, we were like on and off, and I know they're both like adults over 18, they're like fucking. And they're, actually like dating and being in love and for real. I'm not about that shit. I'm all about, being vague, not really doing anything, not even touching hands. And just like a lot of walking around and being alone, and that's the extent of it. Maybe a coffee chat, So it's not like I and Jayun have this crazy complicated history, and we like, there's none of that shit. So it's not that serious anyways. But also I'm trying to move on, So yeah, I hate that they found out that I have a YouTube channel a while ago, and now they're finding out about Jayun. Again, I'm trying to deflect this as much as I can, and I hope tonight everyone's like kind of drunk and like don't really remember what's going on. And I hope this doesn't spread anywhere, but it's just so fucked up, and I will never trust him with a secret ever again. Like, maybe with Andrew Wu, but like anyone else in that group, distance. As much as I love to open up and be honest with my feelings and stuff, but this is crossing the fucking line, man. This crosses 2 fucking lines. 2 lines have been crossed. My biggest secrets, I think, are my love life and my online presence, and they kind of figuring that shit out. What else is a big secret of mine? Like, my mental health struggles. It's not even that big of a struggle. I don't know, my family, which isn't, I'm not really ashamed of it. I don't really have like a big secret aside from my online presence and my love life, and they're kind of figuring those things out, or I guess my insecurities. But yeah, it's just, yeah. So that's really bad, and I hope it blows over, and I hope it comes to nothing. Yeah. Even if this happens, just like let me graduate and leave this school, So yeah, I don't really know. Kind of ended off on a sore note, but at least tomorrow I get to sleep all day, so I'm really excited about that. And yeah. After tonight, now I'm actually thinking of going to Arizona again. Last night, I was like, I don't know. Maybe I don't really need to go to Arizona because I'm tired. But then now I'm like, maybe I should. I need a break from all this. I need a break. I need to go somewhere. I need to be alone. And If I sleep more, I'll think clearer, so my writing gets better. The way I deal with people gets better. My body looks better. And, yeah. So, that's that. So, fuck me, I guess. Good thing is, there's Thanksgiving break, so everyone can just disappear for a while. So, yeah, that's it. That's all.